pessoal, olha ali.
There was somebody stood right here.
Alien Eye Adventure shared this chilling footage on his YouTube channel. He set out to explore what locals call the haunted snake farm. The legend says a man once raised snakes here until one bite ended his life. Since then, his ghost has reportedly wandered these cursed grounds.
E eu sempre quis vir aqui e acabou que nunca deu, nunca consegui vir. E hoje, pessoal.
As he walked deeper, the air grew heavier. Silence pressed in from all sides. Then, out of nowhere, a shadow darted across the grass. Could it be the snake keeper's spirit, still guarding this land? He spotted an abandoned building and decided to investigate.
É por aqui, pessoal. Eu nunca vim aqui, então eu não vim de dia também. Aí eu tô meio perdido. Mas apareceu bem aqui, pessoal, ó. Ele veio pra cá, pra esse canto. Salve!
Strange sounds echoed from inside. His heart raced. He had nothing to defend himself with, only his camera.
Meu Deus. Caramba. Eu não trouxe minha arma hoje. Esqueci minha arma.
Then the figure appeared again, staring from the darkness.
Oh meu Deus, pessoal, olha ali. Olha. Ali, ó.
Whispers, footsteps, unseen movements. The old farm felt alive, with the dead. Was it truly the ghost of the Snake Master, or something far more sinister? If you were in his place, would you keep exploring, or run before the farm claimed you too? Franco TV shared this chilling footage on his channel. He ventured deep into Timberlake's forest, one of Minnesota's most haunted spots. In the distance, loud bangs echoed, and shifting shadows seemed to follow his every step.
It is so sketchy and so dangerous. Anything happens to me, you guys will never hear from me. That's it. Like, you won't even see a video no more, and I'm kaput. If you guys notice that I go within like 2 weeks without a video, which I never go 2 weeks without a video, but if that happens, I'm either sick or, done, KO'd. So this is like a little playground or whatever the hell they were constructing out here. Again, this is way out here in the forest. I don't know what the deal is or why this is.
Then a scream tore through the night.
I don't know if you guys could hear that, but deep in there I can hear screaming again. Further into the forest. Godly, this place is huge. Franquito's behind me. He's talking on the camera.
Locals call this place the Dead Forest, where restless spirits are said to guard the land. That's when he saw them.
I just seen what looked like eyes staring at me from the forest. But it hid into the forest. Se escondió adentro. So I just seen the eyes again. Look, right there. What the fuck is that? I'm gonna zoom into it. There it is. Low battery. That's on my other camera.
Each time his flashlight caught them, they vanished, only to reappear somewhere else. By the end, Franco left the forest shaken. Another clip, another terrifying mystery that defies explanation. A friend had just returned from a camping trip deep in the woods. the kind of place where it's pitch black at night, and even the wind sounds like it's whispering. They sent over 2 photos from the trip, and at first, nothing seemed unusual. But then we saw it. In the first photo, in the upper right corner, there was a face, pale, almost human, just watching. Here's the unsettling part. In the second photo, taken only moments later, the face was gone. No trace of it at all. Could it have been a trick of the light? Or was something, or someone, out there in the darkness, watching them? Black Crag is a YouTuber known for sharing his hikes through wild trails, deep forests, and remote landscapes. His channel usually shows calm nights under the stars, camping with his dog, and enjoying quiet solitude. But his trip to Souther Fell in the Lake District was nothing like that. This fell is steeped in old legends. In the 18th century, locals claimed they saw ghostly armies marching across the ridge on Midsummer's Eve. Many swore it was real, yet no trace of soldiers was ever found. This time, Souther Fell became Black Crag's campsite. He pitched his tent, spent time with his dog, and later wandered along the ridge.
So yeah, I'm going to have a little wander along and see if we can see this flipping ghost army, because, you know, come all this way. I want to see some spectral action. Oh, you know, I didn't bring my camera. I didn't bring it because I thought, well...
At first, everything was peaceful. He filmed the sunset, admired the stars, even switched to infrared. Nothing unusual. But as he returned to his tent, he froze. A tall, shadowy figure was standing right beside the entrance.
What the hell? There's a bloke stood next to my tent. What the That has absolutely scared the out of me. I'm not kidding you. I was walking down there, coming back towards the tent, talking to you guys. I'm telling you right now, there was somebody stood right here. Oh, I'm not kidding you, man. The hairs on my arms are stood up. My skin is crawling. Right there. Finn's is oblivious to me.
Terrified, he rushed inside, his heart pounding. The rest of the night carried a heavy tension, as if something unseen was still nearby.
Okay, we're in the tent. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the hell I saw then. I don't know whether I saw. Maybe it might have been my imagination now. Honestly, I don't know. But flipping heck, that really spooked me. Really spooked me. I'm just gonna try and get a bit of...
What little he managed to capture matched his memory. A tall, dark silhouette. To this day, Black Crag has no explanation for what he saw, and what happened next is the kind of thing that keeps people awake at night. I came across a video from the YouTube channel Dirty Shire Dan. On a Saturday trip, he set out for some wild camping. His plan was simple.
I'm planning on doing something totally different tonight. I'm going to build a shelter and sleep in it. I'm going to do some cooking and have a little fire. I'm going to have some beers. Now I'm in a different part of Woodland tonight. I've never slept in this part where I'm going. I have been building a bit of a shelter here over the last 6 months or so. I'm hoping it's still here.
But as he moved deeper into the forest, the mood shifted. Everything felt damp and unfamiliar. The ground was muddy, the leaves dripping wet, and strange noises echoed from the distance. He admitted he had never stayed overnight in this part of the forest.
I'm hearing some right noises. I know, it's all in my head and everything. I've never stayed in these woods before.
And you could hear the unease in his voice as he searched for the old shelter he had built months earlier. That's when things turned unsettling. One moment, birds were singing. The next, silence.
And then they just stop, and I've not heard them since. I came up here with good intentions, bit of chilled night and everything.
Dan confessed it rattled him, saying it wasn't like him to get spooked so easily. But the silence, followed by gunshot-like bangs in the distance, and even rocks showing up where they didn't belong, pushed him to the edge. By nightfall, thick fog rolled in. His nerves spiraled, and he joked that watching the Blair Witch Project a few nights earlier didn't help. Surrounded by noises, whispers in the dark, and the overwhelming sense that he wasn't alone.
It's like I can hear voices. No voices travel like out when it's quiet. It'll soon be dark nights again in a few weeks. Won't clocks go back, forward, whichever way they go.
Dan made the decision to pack up and leave. What was supposed to be a relaxing night in the woods turned into one of his most unsettling trips ever. And if your skin wasn't crawling already, it will after this. It was meant to be just another quiet night in the Florida wilderness. A camper had set up for the evening, the fire glowing low, when something strange caught his eye at the edge of camp. Just beyond the palms, half hidden in the shadows, stood something. At first it looked like part of the trees, until it moved. Dark, massive, and upright, it seemed to be watching. Some call it the skunk ape, Florida's version of Bigfoot. The figure never stepped closer, but the brush between them wasn't enough to hide its outline. With his heart racing, the camper snapped a photo, knowing few would ever believe it. Whatever it was, the image stayed with him. A memory burned into his mind, and into that picture. The YouTuber Rice and Beans Adventures shared a chilling encounter from one of his camping trips. Morning was supposed to bring calm, but instead, it carried the weight of the night before.
Yes, last night was rough. Got coffee going. I walked around the campsite. We got the tent set up.
They tried to fix it, but by midnight, everything was in ruins. Chairs blown away, the campsite torn apart.
Everything was fine. And then another gust of wind, maybe 20, 30 mile an hour winds, and it broke another leg. And then at that point we were like, okay, this isn't gonna work. Like, it was way too windy.
With no shelter left, they climbed into the back of the truck, just the stars above, and the howling wind all around.
Maybe laying in the back of the bed of the truck to watch the stars out here in Big Bend. So it just turned into our sleeping quarters while we were out here.
Imagine lying there in the vast emptiness, knowing every sound outside could be something moving in the dark. He said he eventually fell asleep, but really, how do you sleep when your camp has been destroyed and the desert night hides what you can't see? That storm wasn't just rough, it was terrifying. And maybe he didn't tell us everything that happened out there, because the next clip takes a much darker turn. On the night of the Beaver Moon, the Flex tapes returned to Epping Forest's Hangman's Hill. They came to test the legend. They pitched camp near the old church line and waited. The experiment began.
That whenever a car is on the hill and you leave it in neutral, the car will roll up the hill.
They put the car in neutral. It rolled uphill. Excited laughter turned nervous. The car picked up speed. They jumped out, stunned.
Hill.
foot off.
Look at that, he's rolling up the hill.
Oh wow, this is dangerous. This is scary. Yep, we're moving now.
Minutes later, a sharp cry tore through the dark. An animal? Or something far worse?
That noise? Yeah, what the hell was that? That wasn't a normal fox noise. It could have been, but it didn't sound like a normal fox. Yeah. How did we get through there though?
Already, so
we walk right through the graveyard?
Yeah, we'll walk through the graveyard, we'll go right to the back.
They lit 2 fires, one for warmth, one for cooking. Even dinner turned eerie. A slip of the knife, blood on the steak.
We've got genuine blood now.
Oh, come on, you've just bled all over the steak.
It hasn't got on the steak, it's on the fork.
Oh dear.
The night was growing darker. With the lights out, tension spiked. Sticks snapped. Leaves crunched. Footsteps paced just outside the tent.
Just in case you didn't hear anything, there's a lot of footsteps and a twig just snapped down there. We've not heard anything like that all night.
Hours later, rain faded. Dawn arrived, cold and quiet. One camper swore he heard steps circling the camp before sunrise.
Dan said he could hear noises at 5 o'clock this morning, like footsteps walking around the tent. I was sound asleep, so that was good.
The forest seemed peaceful, but the ground near the old church felt heavier, colder, as if last night's watcher had simply slipped back into the trees. A couple of friends and one camper were spending the night under Utah's wide, star-filled sky. The air was still, maybe a little too still. To pass the time, the storyteller began snapping long exposure shots, the kind where the camera collects every detail over several seconds. At first, everything looked normal. The glow of the fire, the streaks of light, the silhouettes of friends. But then, while zooming in on one of the photos, things got strange. Right beside one of the campers was a figure, not just any figure. It looked like a hand, reaching out and touching them. The disturbing part? None of them saw anyone there in real life. To the naked eye, that spot was empty, completely empty. It's as if whatever it was only wanted to be seen after the moment had passed, hidden inside the pixels of a photograph. Urban Ghost shared this chilling experience on their YouTube channel. 2 hikers set out on a dangerous mountain trail, hoping to find a rumored abandoned plane crash site. The path was steep, muddy, and confusing, marked only by faint dots on the trees. Every step was a challenge. They slipped, stumbled, and battled exhaustion. Bees swarmed. Rocks shifted underfoot. Near falls kept their hearts racing. Yet, the breathtaking views of the wilderness made every risk feel worth it. After hours of struggle, they finally arrived.
Wow. There it is, Cessna 414. Crashed in the early 1980s, I think 1983?
Or was it, or 84?
Yeah. 1983 or 86.
Now it was an 86, because I would have remembered that the mountain were.
Yeah. I think it's 82.
Wow.
Holy moly.
The engines had long been salvaged, but twisted metal, broken wings, and scattered parts remained. Flowers left in remembrance contrasted with vandalism from careless visitors. The scene was haunting, beautiful, and deeply unsettling all at once.
So basically these would have been where the engines were and they salvaged them. Yeah, great for photography, right?
Yeah, get the right lens, damn it.
At the crash site, they tried the necrophonic spirit box. The device crackled and hissed. Words emerged. Plane, leave, pain.
It's wild. All these parts are still here. Obviously degraded over time. So
seems that like the instrument panel and everything is stripped out. And
Were the victims still here, somehow echoing through the wreckage? Or was something else answering? Something unseen? The hikers left shaken. The mountain remained silent, yet heavy, as if holding its secrets close. A novice wild camper shared this experience on his YouTube channel. He set out for a stealthy woodland camp, expecting a calm night surrounded by nature. At first, everything felt normal, but soon the forest grew unsettling. He thought he heard someone nearby.
There are a couple of houses in about 300 yards away, which I don't think own this woodland because it's got open access from the side roads. There's no signage up.
In the dead of night, heavy thuds rang around his hammock. Rocks and branches suddenly dropped from above, landing dangerously close. When he checked, objects appeared on the ground that hadn't been there before.
But the weirdest thing was, the rain started to die down. So it was just a tiny pitter patter. And suddenly by my hammock, a massive thud hits the ground.
Almost as if something or someone was tossing them. By morning, the tension hadn't eased. Even while packing up, branches crashed unnaturally near him.
Stuffed the bacon walls. Well, I'm getting packed up and getting out of this quick as I can. Literally, while I'm standing here now, it is daylight, okay?
Would you dare to stay in a forest that feels alive with unseen watchers? This video was uploaded to Rock Country Outdoors. A group of hikers ventured deep into the mountains when something caught their eye, something that left them completely shocked. Standing at the edge of a cliff, they noticed something unnatural carved into the rock face.
Oh, it's dark in there. Spooky. And these handprints right here. Holy smokes. Look at that. All right, we got light, so. Oh, there we go. That is deep.
Hidden in the shadows was a cage, built into the mountain itself, stretching deep inside like some kind of prison.
Oh man, guys, I was just checking out this one, but it looks like there's one on the other side. This back side here. Totally. Oh.
The discovery raised terrifying questions. How was something like this even possible in such a remote place? Who built it, and what was it used for? The silence of the mountain only made it worse, as if the cage still held the echoes of whatever had once been trapped inside. It began as an innocent family stroll, but quickly became a memory they'll never forget. The woods were still, the trees motionless. Then one of the kids froze, pointing. Something was staring back at them. Its shape was hard to make out, but its presence was undeniable. Trembling hands grabbed the camera and pressed record. What they captured continues to haunt to this day. Was it a beast? An ill shadow? A vision? Or something far worse? If you were there, would you investigate or turn and run? And what do you think was standing there, watching them? The most frightening things are the ones that won't look away. His head twitched, straining to follow the whispers drifting through the haunted house. Every corner seemed to pulse, every shadow alive. Then he froze. The door creaked open, and there it was, two glowing, unnatural eyes locked on him. His chest tightened, a trick of the mind, or something far more. Sinister? The eyes didn't blink. They just watched, waiting for him to move.
And I'm not sure if it's Really? Oh my god.
What would you do if you were standing face to face with something not human? Scream? Run? Fight? And what if those eyes followed you home? A hiker strolling down a quiet trail thought he'd struck gold. A rare shot of a fox and a deer sharing the same frame. But when he looked closer, he realized something far stranger had slipped into the background. Faint and distant, a tall, hairy figure stood among the trees. It didn't look quite human, yet it wasn't clearly anything else either. Too far away to confirm, the eerie sight left the photo shrouded in mystery. While fly fishing near an old cemetery in England, a man noticed something odd drifting in the river. A small, weathered doll. Curious, he reached out and pulled it from the water, snapping a few photos for a closer look. The moment he held it, an uneasy feeling crept over him. Finding a doll this close to a graveyard felt wrong, almost sinister. His mind immediately spiraled to curses, dark rituals, and black magic. One thing was certain: taking it home wasn't an option. In fact, even touching it might have been a mistake.